Today we're doing Worcester Technical High School's version of a science fair, and we're calling it a tech fair. We're calling it a tech fair because we are highlighting the technology shops and integration with our science classrooms. So every member that participated, which we have 50 participants, 25 projects, and participation from 13 different shops here at Worcester Tech. And their projects all have to be related to their shop area and connection with their science classes. So today we will be welcoming all of our participants and any interested parties, shop teachers, academic teachers who are available, and we'll be awarding a few honorable mention projects as well as the top 5 who will go on to our citywide science fair here in Worcester. I'm especially proud of the 3 trophies that we've created for the top 3 winners. I have one here. The reason why I'm proud of it is that it is a representation of all the collaborations that occur here at Worcester Tech. So this award here, the gears were donated by the automotive department, welded together by welding, painted by the P&D, Painting and Design Department. The plaques were made by the graphics department, and all put together to represent the collaborations that occur every day here at Worcester Tech. The Worcester Tech community is very proud of the participants this year. We're very excited to see a wide variety of technical areas participating, 13 in fact, with a wide variety of science students from almost every science teacher here at Worcester Tech. We've had great support, and the students really blew me away with their creativity and dedication to a project that's completely voluntary, and I'm hoping that it really lights a fire in them and they enjoy science from it, and it really shows in the pride they represented when they presented yesterday to the judges. You can tell they really have enthusiasm and a passion for their shops, and now with their science, their academics as well.
It looked like a cloud, but then like people kept touching it and stuff.
All right, welcome to the 2016 Tech Fair Awards Ceremony. Just want to say a few things this morning. Today we're going to be celebrating the hard work and dedication that you all put into this Tech Fair Projects Fair. Our Tech Fair was designed to connect our wonderful technical areas here at Worcester Tech with our science courses, identifying and exploring the science and technology that is embedded in all of your shops. I'm proud to say that each of you have done just that. I'm also proud to say that we've had 25 projects, 50 participants, and 13 technical areas represent our Tech Fair this year. Woo! A special thank you to all the technical and academic teachers that have supported, encouraged, volunteered, judged, donated prizes, and assisted with the development of this year's Tech Fair. A special thank you to WEA-TV 11. They will be broadcasting this on channel 191 and also on the Worcester Public Schools website and YouTube, so check it out. In a moment, we will award each student with a Worcester Technical Science Excellence Award. Then we'll have a few prizes for honorable mention. And then finally, we're going to identify the top 5 winning projects who will go on to the citywide science fair. The top 3 projects are going to be receiving special trophies that you see up here today, which I'm especially proud of because they represent a collaboration of our technical areas. The gears were donated by automotive, welded together by welding, painted by Painting and Design, and the plaques were made by graphics. All right, so without further ado, we are going to announce each of your names in honor and recognition of your hard work. First, I would like to honor Auto Tech with Ariana Molinari. She's not here. Okay. All right. Machine Tool Tech, Jayshaline Perez. Sumaya Karishkwa. Cassandra Goltz. Good job. From Welding and Metal, Deirdre DeSiltis. Good job. Thanks. Also from Welding, we have Julian Danick. Stephanie Delgado. Good job. Heidi O'Connor. Good job, Heidi. Tyler Lufkin. Good job, Tyler. Moving to the Allied Health Academy, we have Allied Health, Sophia Averill. Oh, right, you're not Allied Health. Correction, this was a combination project. So Sophia is from culinary, but her partner, Emily, is from the Allied Health Department. Emily Averill. Good job. Next, we have Hong Vo. Done. Good job. And Casey Cologne. Good job. From the biotech department, we have Melanie Acosta. Good job, Melanie. And Tatiana Beckford. Good job, Tatiana. We have Jaylyn Hampton. Good job. Did I mispronounce it? Yep. Sorry. Aja Sakor. Good job, Aja. From the cosmetology department, we have Genesis Vasquez. Good job. Shayla Pham. Good job, Shayla. From the Early Childhood Department, we have Kaylee Donahue. Good job, Kaylee. Naila Winfield. Anna Puelo. Good job, Anna. Sierra Molina. Good job, Sierra. From Environmental Tech, we have Angel Chanette. Good job. Taya Casey. Francesca Rosario. Ardita Krasniki. Good job. Alicia Croto. Sorry. From the Electrical Department, Michael Sloan. Good job. Antonio Baez. Good job, Antonio. From the Painting and Design Department, Shayna Harden. Good job. Yvonne Bowie. Good job. Susanna Roberts. Edgardo Gonzalez. Sierra Brassetti. Ariana Cheng. Good job. Sierra Mormon. Heidi Zalendia. Good job. Fatima Quintanilla. Sorry if I butchered that. Ashley Pagan. Olivia Dusso. From the Plumbing and Pipe Fitting Department, Swami Morales. Are you plumbing or are you biotech? Xavier Sotomayor. Bless you. From the Biotech Department, Tyler De Silva. Good job, Tyler. From the ISSN Telecom Department, Ben Cross. Maggie McCroby. Good job. Anthony Matthew. Anthony Lay. Good job, Anthony. And from Programming and Web Development, Kendrick Henriquez. And Aaron Ofoswinhi. All right. And with that, now we are going to announce 3 honorable mentions. It was really, really close. All the judges put in points, and it was so close that I had to give 3 honorable mentions. So if you could come up with your groups. So from Allied Health, I have Allied Health and a culinary combination. We have Sophia Averill and Emily Averill. Their project was on the relationship of your dominant hand in eating. Good job, guys. The second honorable mention is also from Allied Health, nail polish at a price with Hung Vo and Casey Cologne. Third honorable mention is from Painting and Design, texting mixtures of oil-based and water-based paints, Shayna Hardin and Yvonne Bowie. And now time for the top 5 who will be going on to the citywide science fair. 5th place from Programming and Web Development, Cross-Platform Development, Kendrick Henriquez and Aaron Ofusuhini.
The way our project was set up is me and my colleagues in a programming web development shop, along with my partner that is not here today, Kendrick. We figured out that when you're developing games across different platforms, such as the Android and the iOS, it's very, very difficult because when you're doing it, you have to make completely different code, and each platform requires a different language. And you know how programmers code in different languages, such as XML for the Android and Xcode for the iOS. You can't get all of the features you can on one to the other, because sometimes it's 700 lines or more than that, and you can't put it on different platforms as easy as you think, and a lot of features aren't added with graphics or just uncapability with the other set of code. So what we used for the solution for our problem was Unity Game Engine. This Unity Game Engine allowed us to build the games to different platforms very, very easily by taking a general coding language called C# and translating it to different codes for each platform. And what we did with this Unity Game Engine is we designed our own game. A team of me and my partner with 6 other people in our shop designed a game that was a capture the flag game, and as you can see here, we have the menu graphics being designed, the level, and Kendrick designing the character model, and me designing the scripting along with another colleague. And for over the past 3 months, we've been working on a bunch of different games, and as you can see here, as we have this game from one of our other people in our shop, we made the same game and built it on a different platform, such as the iPad. And because of Unity, they're basically exactly the same, except just little resolution changes, which isn't really a problem. Ever since me and Kendrick were young, we didn't know each other, obviously, but we both had a love for games, and we still do to this day. So we decided that when we came to this school, we wanted to do game development, and we want to do that for college as well, and we want to continue doing it. So our teacher decided that this year, junior year, was going to be the year that we could start trying to do Unity game work. And I feel as if game development is very, very influential around the world due to its power from game developers being able to change people's minds and being able to change people's behaviors, whether it's violent or puzzle games or solving problem games, that as a gamer myself has used these skills in everyday life, in academics, and more. I'm very satisfied with the work that we've all done. I think we did a very great job, and with the time we had, I think we were very, very focused with different people on different jobs, and me leading everybody to do whatever they need to do in points of the game. And I feel like by the end of this year, we'll have a very, very nice alpha mode of the game to be able to be very, very proud of and show to the world.
Fourth place from Biotech, can Worcester support microbial growth in water? Melanie Acosta, Tatiana Beckford, Jalin Hampton, and Aja Sakor.
My project is that if Worcester water can support microbial growth in the water, okay, and our overall purpose for this project is to determine rather which water source in Worcester can support microorganisms, and from our data we can explain the health effects on humans.
So we made our hypothesis based on the visual appearance of the water source and the area surrounding it. The 3 lakes that we believed would have the best conditions to support and encourage and maintain microbial growth was Bell Pond, Indian Pond, and Quinsigamond Lake. We did numerous tests to see which one had. One test we did was the pH.
So the pH is what measured the acidity and the alkalinity of solutions, and so from the pH scale 4.8 and 9.2 is the best optimal conditions for microbial growth, and based on all our water samples, they all fall under that range.
The microscopy, which is basically telling us how we're overview of this, is we did a little bit of testing to see if we have activities in our water, and as you can see on the data on the side over here, the sterile water is clean and have no organism or anything, and then as you get down to the distilled water, it has some type of particle. Okay. But the spring and other water that we tested on have many eukaryotes as we go along, and then some are unidentified or unnamed, so we still have to work on that. And
okay, so the next part of our project was we took the water samples and we put them on what we call LB plates. LB plates provide the bacteria with a suitable food source so that when we put them at different temperatures, if there are bacteria in the water, they have a good environment to grow at. We did 37 degrees because that's what bacteria typically like to grow at, and we did room temperature so that it's closer to the actual water sample that the bacteria was living in. We recorded our data here, and we did include some pictures that's on the slideshow of the growth, and based upon the growth off of these LB plates, we then use 2 plates which are differential selective plates. The first one, it has lactose in it, it has neutral red, which is a pH indicator, it has crystal violet, and it has bile salts. Bile salts are what are in your gut, so it recreates the environment for like gut bacteria. How it works is if the only way that a bacteria can grow on it is if they're gram-negative, which will be further explained in our gram-stain portion. It also, the bile salts restricted to a certain couple of families of bacteria to grow, and while a bacteria could still grow on it and become a normal color like yellow or white, which also help us tell the difference. On a McConkey plate, they can turn pink because that means it ferments the lactose and it makes lactic acid, which activates our pH indicator and turns the colony pink. And then the second plate that we did it on is a mannitol plate that has mannitol sugars, a salt content of 7.5, and pH indicator phenol red. What happens is the high salt concentration would restrict some bacteria from growing as well, and if it grew on the plate but it left the media red, it did not ferment the mannitol sugars, but if it turned the media yellow, it fermented mannitol and released an acid, activating the pH indicator, turning it yellow. And this helped us kind of do basic characterization of the bacteria that were living on the plates, and we put our findings here as well as an explanation of how the plates were arranged, and from that we did gram stains.
So, as she said, we did gram stains. Gram stain is a staining method used to classify bacteria to see whether it's gram-negative or gram-positive. If it's gram-positive, that the crystal violet used in the process will stain the bacteria sample purple, while if it's gram-negative, it would leave it like a reddish pink due to the other compounds in there. If it's gram-positive, it has a thick layer of peptidoglycan as shown here, and if it's gram-negative, it has the thin layer of peptidoglycan. So we make gram stains based on the results we got here. If we had colonies or we found anything, that's when we performed here. The majority was gram-negative except for 2, which was Indian Pond on our mannitol plates at room temperature and Institute Park at mannitol plates room temperature. That just probably meant that they had a different bacterial species than the rest of the water samples. And to go on.
And because it is so much data all at once from 5 different experiments for one project, we decided to compound our data into this general, very basic chart here to further explain it and simplify it. Basically, this chart has collected the data from all across the board, and the thing with the gram stains in the plates is that we didn't expect to get one type of bacteria because these are all pretty much open water sources aside from sterile, distilled, and the Poland spring water. So because the rest are all open water sources, it's common that we may have found different types of bacteria that may be different in appearance or traits, because it just means that the conditions of the water could support both types. And from our project, we concluded that
Based on our analysis chart, that Institute Park Lake and Indian Pond had the best optimal condition for microbial growth. And based on our hypothesis, only one of the ponds that we picked actually had what we predicted.
I would just like to mention that because this was such a difficult project, we did not just do it ourselves. We had a lot of help from our shop, biotechnology. We had help from 2 friends of ours, Madison Mercedes and Venus Nuwan, and from our teacher, Dr. Andrea Pereira. They were big helps in organizing the data and performing the experiments, and we'd like to thank them very much for their help.
And for 3rd place, receiving a trophy from Welding and Metal, virtual welding versus real life welding, Julian Danick, Stephanie Delgado, and Heidi O'Connor.
Hi, I'm Heidi, and this is Stephanie, and this is our project, Virtual versus Reality. Recently this year, our shop was given a virtual welder, and we were told that if you practiced on the virtual welder and you had never welded in shop, that you could go out into reality, which would be the shop world in our case, and be able to weld perfectly. Me and Stephanie didn't think this was accurate, so we wanted to test it out, and by doing this, we had a friend of ours named Julian come up to the shop, and he had never welded before, and we spent 3 days on the virtual welding until we felt like he was at the point where we were with the virtual welder, with good straight beads and consistency, and then we took him out into shop, and turned out that from the welds, as you can see, it didn't work. And the reason for that was because of all the different variables, which Stephanie can go more into.
The virtual welder doesn't account for all the variables that you would experience in the real world. One that's commonly noted is for heat, the sparks, the restrictions, all the heaviness of the PPE that needs to be worn. As for the helmet, the gloves, the leathers, the toe tappers, the beanies. On occasions, you use respirators too due to all the fumes. There's just too many variables that aren't accounted for when it comes to virtually welding. The torches. This torch weighs like the same amount as a feather, whereas for an actual MIG torch, it weighs like a brick. And the same for the helmet. The helmet has the little eyes that lets you see into the virtual world, and all these cords going around everywhere that restrict your movement. Whereas for the helmet, it's a lot lighter. There's just too many variables that aren't accounted for when it comes to virtually welding. The difference between the weight of the equipment is so great that it can't prepare you for what's gonna come if you go into the actual shop. As for one example, when you virtually weld, you can wear whatever you want. As you can see, Julian wore whatever he wanted, polyester, you wear anything, but in the actual shop you have to wear 100% cotton. Cotton is really essential when it comes to welding because if you wear any sort of polyester, it will melt on your skin. And that's not a fun experience.
Also, another component of the virtual welder being different from an actual welder is when you do MIG welding, you have a constant wire feed where wire's coming out of this constantly while you're welding, so you have to keep it at the same level of the metal the whole time. In the virtual welder, you don't have that issue. You don't notice yourself going higher from the wire feed going up. It's not the same. And then you don't have any malfunctions with the virtual welder either. You don't learn how to change its wire or any of that. You don't know how to fix a jam, and that's a big deal because it happens really often in the field.
And also there's a set of preferences each person has. Everybody's different. Everybody welds at their own different paces. Everybody has their own different techniques. Whereas for the virtual welder, there's a manual that has set heat, set wire speed, and set voltage that you're just set at that one place where in reality it might not even work out for you at all. This isn't anywhere near to the close of the actual experience of welding in reality. The difference is too great that one can't learn how to weld on here and be able to weld in reality. It's just the bottom line of it. Technology won't advance that far to be able to simulate how it feels to be in a shop, having to feel the weight of all the equipment you wear, the heat, the darkness of the helmets. As for here, you can see clear as day. When it comes to an actual helmet, the sparks make the lens so dirty you can't see anything. It's just upon guess and check when you weld. The heat, getting arc flash possibly, sparks going everywhere, getting burned, the most common thing out of everything.
There's just too many differences, and in conclusion, we believe that the virtual welder is great for tips. It's great for teaching you terminology such as arc length and travel speed and stuff, which we didn't understand when our teachers would talk about it before we got this machine, and now that we've used it, we understand that. But when it comes to teaching you how to actually weld, I don't think it's a tool that you could learn on and then be able to weld fine in the real world. But yeah.
Second place from Environmental Tech, You're Safe But Is the Water, testing the health of bodies of water, Angel Shanette and Tahea Casey.
Hi, my name is Angel and this is Taya, and our project is You're Safe But Is the Water. The purpose of our experiment is to determine the water quality and see if it's safe for aquatic species and others. We will test the pH, nitrate, phosphate, alkalinity, and dissolved oxygen. So we believe at first the pH and dissolved oxygen of the ponds and streams that we have tested will be unhealthy. And with another testing that we have done with the snow, we believe that it would lower the pH since it's winter and everything freezes. The materials that we have used are protective gears, the water sampler, a logbook, test kits for pH, nitrate, dissolved oxygen, and alkalinity.
So we found that the pH, phosphate, nitrate, and alkalinity and dissolved oxygen of the nearby ponds and streams seem pretty healthy. But then again, this cannot be definite because it is winter, colder water holds more dissolved oxygen, and there isn't the natural runoff going into these streams and lakes causing high nutrients. So more testing throughout multiple seasons would have to be done to determine the quality of water from the stream and pond behind our school. We did testing on snow. The first testing we did was from December 28th, 2015. We found that it had a pH of 5.5. The national average pH is 5.6. Even a decrease in 0.1 pH units can result in a 26% increase of acidity. The other snow sample that we tested was from January 12th, 2016. This had a pH of 5. This is worrisome because we worry about episodic acidification. Episodic acidification refers to a brief period of time where heavy downfall and snow meltage can result in the lowering of a pH in ponds and streams. Ponds and streams have a natural buffering capacity, as do soils, and when this buffering capacity is low, the soil leaches aluminum into the environment. Now, aluminum is highly toxic to organisms. So we also have vernal pools behind our school. This is also worrisome because vernal pools rely on the meltage of snow to get their water. Salamanders cannot survive a pH below 5. So if the buffering capacity is low, which we have not tested to find out, this could result in that vernal pool not being a viable habitat for them to lay their eggs and continue the next generations. To determine and define the health, we have to do more testing throughout multiple seasons, which we are hoping to do throughout the rest of this year and next summer.
And for first place, a little drum roll. First place comes from plumbing and pipe fitting and a biotech combo project, pathogen growth in different types of pipes. Soami Morales, Xavier Sotomayor, and Tyler De Silva.
The question that we're trying to find out is how safe our drinking water is. So what we have here are 4 different pipes that we use in the plumbing industry for residential and commercial. So what we did was we put distilled water in each of the piping, and we introduced E. coli to each one. And after a certain amount of days, we were able to take sampling, and do the readings on each of those to see which material killed off the bacteria more. And I can hand it off to Tyler so that he can explain how that process works.
So after we got the samples from Xavier in plumbing and pipe fitting, we were able to take the samples down to my shop, which is biotechnology, and read those for how many cells per square centimeter were on the pipes. And that allowed us to find the readings and how much cells were alive, so that way we could determine which pipe was the healthiest for drinking water, and then later deduce which one was most cost effective for how you wanted to drink.
E. coli is a bacteria which is commonly found in the lower intestines of your body, and E. coli is harmful. It can make you sick, but the worst kind can actually cause death, which you do not want in your pipes.
So what we believed to kill the bacteria the best way actually was true. Our conclusion was right, but there was a few things that we weren't expecting. Copper came out with the best results. It killed off the bacteria the fastest and the most, and it provided us with the cleanest water. FlowGuard CPVC provided us with clean water like copper, but it added chemicals into it. It added chlorine into the water, which isn't really healthy for us to consume. It actually could have a lot of health effects on us. Galvanized iron came out with the worst, worst outcome. It came out with the most bacterial growth, and it is not healthy for human consumption. As for PEX, it didn't really seem to harm the bacteria, but it didn't help the bacteria. If anything, it just gave it a home, and it eventually just died out because of lack of nutrients.
Good job, guys. And the title of their project was Pathogen Growth in Different Types of Pipes. Very good job, guys. Congratulations. All right. Thank you so much for your time, your efforts, your dedication in doing this. If you guys could please join me in the conference room for cleanup. Top 5, please stay with your projects for a brief interview. Thanks so much, guys. Good job. Oh, I was so nervous. I was like trying to go as fast.
you.